Hello, Dream Team. Welcome back to our podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful people, welcome to another exciting installment of Here's a Thought with the Makhs podcast. My name is Lerato Makheta.
And I'm Phetola Makheta. Guys, as you can see, baby, I feel like doing a piano dance. Boppa, boppa, boppa. We have your faves in the house. Mama and Papa are back with us.
Yes, so excited to have them. If it is your first time joining us, we are joined by Dr. Jerome Mufokeng wa Makheta, as well as his lovely, beautiful wife, Me Claudine Mufokeng wa Makheta, who are our parents. We are so privileged. We are so lucky. Oh my gosh, how are you guys doing?
Sure, we're doing very well.
Couldn't do better.
Very well.
I mean,
wow.
Yes, you look amazing. What's the occasion? Wow. Guys, we're so honored. Baby, we must stop doing that. You know, they came to see us and they said, let's dress up.
Right?
To go and see our kids.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? Thank you so much for
incredible.
joining us,
Thank
folks.
you so much.
Cook me fish to die for. I mean, we can record for the next 3 hours. I'm good.
And I was so nervous, but Papa kept saying, I know, Mama Queen. I know, this is good. So I was like, you know what? I'm good.
You know, my baby holds it down. Guys, if you would like to advertise with us, please remember that you can email us at info.themakhs@gmail.com.
Yes. And guys, we know that December is around the corner. It's time for weddings, imcimbis, and not funerals.
Yeah, not funeral.
Birthday
That happens
parties.
all year.
Birthday,
Yeah.
birthday parties,
For sure.
and we know
And
that
showers.
and we know that family
Yeah.
members will be asking you, "Where's Mkhenyana?
Yeah.
Where is what's Mkhenyana?
Where's your
partner? Where is
Yes.
your husband?" Because
When
that
are you
question,
getting married? When are you bringing us kids?
When are you getting married?
It's
exactly,
that
that
time.
question comes up all the time for singles.
Absolutely. And this is what we want to talk about today, because you guys have been asking us, guys, what about us single people? When are you guys going to talk to us, the single people? So first of all, you're welcome, even before we get into it. Today, we are going to be talking about single and satisfied. This is not a subject that was brought up by us. It didn't come from us.
Yeah.
The folks over here have actually got a DVD that they recorded, which I should have in my hands right now, but I don't. But I am going to put it up on the screen for you to see it. They recorded something called Single and Satisfied, and we want to get into that conversation and the importance of being able to navigate your singlehood.
And baby, before we get into the conversation, the DVD is available for purchase.
Yeah.
The number, Mama, they can get it on Mosa Makheta. Please can you give us the number?
It's 082-319-6367.
Amazing. We'll have the
I'll
number
put it
on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, this is what I would like to ask you. Why did you choose this subject? I mean, you're couple counselors. There are an array of issues that you deal with. You chose to go ahead and even record a DVD on this subject. Why? Why was it so important?
Sure.
People get pressurized to get married. And when you take them through counseling, they are not ready. It's not their thought. And you find they just throw themselves in there because of pressure. And when you bring the truth up, they think twice and say, no, I'll pass. I'm fine. I wasn't ready. So people get into relationships, or they want to get married as though marriage is the ultimate, it's a prize, as though all of us are going to be married.
Sure.
As though marriage will solve you and your partner.
Yep.
And
Can I answer the question first?
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
You see, you can have the best plan, architectural plan for a mansion. If the foundation is faulty, the entire mansion is faulty. And I think it's very important that you get your single status right. You do yourself right. And when you are satisfied, then you are not donating yourself as an invalid, as a cripple. You're taking a complete, a fulfilled self into another person's life. And you're not asking that person to come solve you, to come rescue you.
Yeah.
And then when you give yourself to the other person, then they get it's not half plus half. It's one plus one.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's what needs to happen. It is for that reason that sometimes when you go take people through counseling, you first have to find out in the rearview mirror, who did you bring into this relationship? What did you bring? And then you just realize, no, rightfully, you should not have gone in love. You shouldn't have gone married because you didn't know what you were doing.
And it was for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You wanted to be rescued.
So what I'm hearing, Mama Le Papa, is that both of you, I think, are sharing the same sentiment. So the pressure is both external and internal.
Yes.
External from society and internal thinking that the next person will come
Will
here.
complete me.
And Lerato
Yeah,
and
we
I were
spoke
talking
about
about
that, yeah.
childhood traumas. Do you find that sometimes people think that marriage will heal their childhood traumas or complete them in any way?
Very much so. Others are running away from home.
Sure.
It's so unbearable. The first man that comes along, they are gone. Those traumas, there's no way of addressing them. This man will complete me. This woman will complete me. Nobody completes anybody. You must come complete.
Sure.
I'll repeat that. You must come complete.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the very title. So going back to single and
Satisfied.
single and
Satisfied.
satisfied. What are some of the points that you would direct people to when it comes to being single and satisfied? Because we've already spoken about marriage not being the goal or being the healing place
Yeah.
or whatever. But for those people that are single and they're saying, okay, but how do I navigate this? Because I want to be able to single well. I want to be able to,
And be
navigate and
satisfied.
be satisfied with being
Yep.
single. What
And
are
baby,
some of the
I
things?
love that you're saying well, because a lot of people are single, but
Yeah.
the operative word being waiting well or
Yeah.
singling
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So
How do you wait well?
Okay. Ke kopa ho etsa an image. So that would like to psychology and other disciplines. When you look at the game of tennis, you're learning to play tennis. They give you, the coach stands on the other side and takes you through these basics, the foundations, the principles. And then when you have learned a few and you need to practice, they put you on the wall. You beat that ball to the wall and it comes back in. And then you play against fellow amateurs. And you play your game and it's exciting. And then you keep graduating. Now you're playing Orlando tournament. And then you're playing Soweto tournament. You keep growing until it's Johannesburg, it's Gauteng, and finally you become a singles champion for South Africa. Hopefully you end up with Wimbledon. By the time you get to Wimbledon, you have mastered a tennis singles game. That's it.
Yes.
You know how to play this game by yourself. And a lot of the success of your game, by the way, is internal.
Yeah.
Spiritually, psychologically, socially, sociologically, every department. It's not just the racket in your hand, it's the complete you that goes to the tennis court. And then, whilst you're doing that, They realize, oh, this person is good at singles tennis. And then they pair you up. By the way, they can't force you. You also have to agree and say, or sometimes you go to somebody and say, I like the way you play. And I'd like us to use that scenario. You go to somebody and say, I like the way you play your singles game. I'd like you to be my partner in a doubles game.
Sure, I love that.
That's brilliant.
Let me say this. You cannot play a doubles game with singles principles. Does not work.
Yep.
So, what we're talking about is going from Orlando to Soweto to Gauteng to South Africa to Wimbledon. You gotta play that game smart.
Yeah.
Principles, foundations, every department taken care of. Then, whether you're going to play the doubles game or not, you have mastered the singles game. See that?
How do you master the singles game?
Yeah. You know, when you look at this person emerging, you are a single person, you are emerging. Life throws itself at you, and we know with every challenge, you grow. So depending on who are you bringing into this world, you are still single. Life is challenging you. Be it spiritual, emotional, socially. You have to be sure that at the end, when we look at you, we say, you are emotionally intelligent. You have this emotional quotient. And it's not the same as being brilliant. You can have an IQ that's out of this world, but if you are not emotionally balanced, it's a wrap. So how you master as you go along, you are a person who's got a teachable spirit. You admit when you are wrong. You learn to apologize. You learn that you are not the only one in the world, that the other person is not there to serve you. Rather, servitude starts with you because you are overflowing. You are full. And when you meet the other person, they receive the richness that comes from you. So you find, even when you meet somebody, you are attractive. Even in your flaws, it's acceptable. And you go into this, you are single, maybe you didn't have the opportunity to be very educated. You are fine with yourself. This degree does not make you. Who are you inside? And that's what attracts people. When you know, it's like when we compare a blessing and a curse. When you are blessed, you bless those around you. When you are cursed, the same happens. So when you arrive, what do you give off? So you find people say, hey, you know, I'm clothed with bad luck. My things don't go well. Guys run away from me, etc. Sit down, introspect. What is it that makes people want to run away from you? Are you too needy? Are you bossy? What fragrance are you giving off?
So the number one ingredient for me is that of life education. And allow me for those of you guys who are believers, Ephesians 5:21. Be careful then how you live. you must live. Live you must.
Yeah.
But be careful.
How?
And then it says, not as
as a
fools. And even if you forget everything we say today, please remember this. Don't be a fool. What do fools do? They do the very same thing that hasn't worked so many times and expect different results.
Sure.
Please, seriously. And yeah.
So Baba, when you talk about, sorry, my love. I'll
No,
keep
go
on
for it,
now.
go for it, go for it, go for
When
it.
you talk about living well, a thought just came to my mind, because we know that there are people that are single but they are restless, right? And I think it's such a huge phenomenon, even in the Christian space, where you hear of people saying, "I'm single but I'm seeing people." What do we say to those people that are getting weary of the single journey, where they're just like, you know what? It's easy for you to say because you are married. When you go home, you get to sleep on Lerato's chest. It's easy for you to say. How do we encourage those people? I know we've spoken about in terms of living well. Practically, what does that look like to someone who's saying, I don't know how to do this? What does it even look like? Because it looks easy in the world, because women in the world are single, but they are not alone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? They have people that are keeping them busy.
They're keeping them occupied.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Just to keep
To pass the time.
To pass the time.
Until I find my peasant.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or my peasant finds me.
Yeah.
Or we find each other.
Or we
Yeah.
find
Or we
each
find
other.
each other.
I think I would react to that by saying, why do you want to date?
Sure.
You are restless. What is it about dating that you are going to achieve? And you ask yourself that question, you might want to wait because you realize that it's for wrong reasons.
The answer to that question is actually what's making me realize why I shouldn't be
Yes.
dating.
Yes.
What's your why?
Yes.
What is your why?
Your why.
What vacuum are you filling by desperately wanting somebody? The best time, and this is not scientific, it's my opinion, the best time to meet your partner is when you are not desperate, when you are not fishing, when you are at rest
With yourself.
and doing yourself.
So on that point, what are some of the right reasons to be looking? Because we also don't want to demonize looking, right? We also
Yes.
don't want to say,
No, look all
you
the
can't,
time."
right? So what kind of position should a person to be, to add on to your point, sir, where they can say, okay, now I'm looking. I'm positioned in a place where I'm ready to look. What kind of a place should a person be at?
I would readily say, when you are not looking outside for fulfillment,
That's good.
Sure. That's a good one.
because you go out to look for somebody to come and fill that void. What if they can't?
And when you are at peace
Yeah.
with yourself and every department of yourself.
I wasn't led because I think being gainfully occupied growing up made me realize that I'm worthy. I don't need so much from outside to fulfill me. If I can mention, I read a lot. I went to a Christian youth club. You know, the values were instilled, and I surrounded myself with positivity. I was a homie, by the way, but I was fulfilled in what kept me busy. So it's really important how young people are guided to spend their time, because with time, it becomes a lifestyle. So the fulfillment that you have readily shows you that you don't need this and this and this and this. And it's never late. Right now, search inside yourself. What is it that fulfills me? You want to start drawing? You want to go to dance classes? You want to start learning music? Enroll for a course? Be gainfully busy. It will distract you from that which you are not ready for.
I think what I love about what you're both saying is the idea of self-mastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
being so committed to being your best,
The best
self,
version.
Yeah.
the best version of yourself, that whoever comes into your relationship. So I'm actually reminded of the state that I found you in, my wife, you know. She was so complete, and I've shared the story before of how she was very clear about the fact that, listen, Abuti, I've got my Jesus, I've got my life, I've got my career.
Yeah.
I don't need you to disturb
Exactly.
where I'm at. I want you in my life. I would like for us to build something together, but don't make the mistake of thinking that there's a void.
Yeah. Or I was waiting at
Or I
the
was
bus
waiting,
stop for you.
yeah,
To be rescued.
Because
for sure.
I was en route.
But this is the thing, folks. This is the thing, and I've said this in this installment, in one of our installments before, that everything that we have learned from childhood teaches us that there's a Prince Charming that is going to come and save a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And as a result, it puts pressure
Yeah.
on both men and women.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
And single people are usually frowned upon.
That's another thing.
And what I've also learned is, you know, people make it a joke, but they'll say, what is wrong with that person? Why are they single?
Yes.
Yes.
So they make it
Yes.
seem like there's
it's
something
a
wrong
sin.
with you.
Yeah,
It's
you see it in
it's a-
movies.
it-
Like,
it-
well, I mean, you've got a good job.
Yeah,
you've got-
it's a blemish.
Why are you
Why
single?
is it-
Exactly. You know, you're reminding me of, I think I've had 3 couples by now that I know for sure. They came for counseling,
Sure.
premarital,
Yeah.
but towards the end they said,
Wow.
we're not ready. And they went their separate ways. I'd rather that than people marry and divorce.
It's we not compatible.
Yeah.
We're not good and right for each other.
Sure.
And 2, we're not ready,
Ready.
for a romantic relationship of this seriousness and magnitude and so on. So you know it and you know it and you know it inside yourself when it's wrong. And no matter how much you try and adjust and twist and service and what have you, when it's not it, it's not it.
Yes.
Why sentence yourself to a heartache and a headache for the rest of your life?
And
Why do that?
let me add, people get into courtship to make up their minds. So it's only in courtship where you are going to find out that we don't gel. There's nothing wrong in having a relationship and agreeing that it's not working. This is a point for another day, but let me throw it in there right now. The thing is, people give too much too soon, and the parting becomes painful. So if we, take it easy, man. Don't rush into things. You still want to know each other.
How do people give too much too soon? What do you mean by that?
For instance, intimacy.
Okay.
You are not married. You are intimate. You don't realize that it's like you are married. When those souls meet, it's difficult to be apart. The man can be abusive, the woman can be abusive, but you find the other always wanting to go back, and they wonder why. It's a soul tie.
Wow.
So when God says don't, Don't ask why. You'll find out in due time.
So the first weekend you are with each other, you're already spending a weekend at Sun City.
Yeah.
Aich.
And in 2 months,
Couple goals.
you are already moving in together.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in 6 months, you're pregnant. And then you realize
You're not
You are not
compatible.
compatible.
You're not compatible. You've given too much too soon. And then reversing, retracting, and so on. There are wounds. There are wounds.
Baby daddy issues, baby mama issues, court, maintenance. We can prevent all that
Yeah.
by doing things at the right time.
So, what do we say to the woman or the man that says, I'm single again, now what? Because we know that life happens, right? People get divorced.
Yeah.
Also, in a sense where people realize that I've given too much too soon. You know, how do we help that person heal, and for them just to get to a point of contentment again?
What's about psychologists by self-actualization? In other words, so invest in myself that I am not focused on the wounds,
Yeah.
on the
Sure.
loneliness. I've had people go through a divorce and then they enroll into a UNISA or whatever university. They start that business that they've always wanted to start. The partner was always saying, no, whatever the excuse was. Somehow, now they have an opportunity to go back to themselves. And let us focus on that and invest in that. And two, please don't go to Toyota to go and window shop for Mercedes.
Wait. Wait. What?
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
It's a little.
All right, Mr. Kombela.
Come with
What?
it.
What?
Come out with it.
That could mean so many things. What do you mean by that?
Shop for your type.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Shop for your type.
Yeah.
The places you go to,
Yeah.
the dates the associations, don't go to the stadium if you're a person who are joy of jazz. Because go stadium will just go up. And absolutely, yeah, there are places where you'll find your type.
Yeah.
There are, even on social media and so on and so on. Don't go to the wrong market. And then the next thing, you want the Baruti and the counselors to change
to
this
fix.
person.
Yeah.
Because here's, let me say it. This one, I'm going to make it
Sure.
in this so that we don't lose
Yeah.
it. You come to us, hey, Dr. Jerry, Mama Claudine, and this person is a problem. Man, maybe they're cheating or they're doing drugs or they what have you. And then we ask a question.
Where did you meet? Sorry.
More than that,
Well,
when did they start? When did they start this?
Sure.
No, it started whilst you were in courtship. Oh,
Sure.
so you went on into marriage. Now you expect them to change. First of all, a wedding is not a microwave for character. Please.
Sure.
A wedding is an event. It does not change character. It does not bring in principles, integrity, accountability, love. It does not do that.
Sure.
And so, first of all, this person did not promise you that they're going to change. And secondly, this person does not have the capacity to change.
They are themselves.
They are themselves.
They're consistent with
They
themselves.
are consistent with themselves.
Yeah.
So you really, honestly speaking, are unfair. And as we say to women quite often, more than with men, you married your hopes and not the person in front of you.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Now, you guys, we had some things that we wanted to share with you, but allow us to maybe to share one on each side.
Yeah.
On this video, we talk about there are no entry signs, no entry, absolutely no entry, and then there are yield signs. And I didn't say the go signs, the yield signs.
Yield.
And let's just deal with one.
Sure.
One, no entry. As a single person who is single and satisfied and happy and content and fulfilled and self-actualized. Here is one no entry sign. Sweetheart.
Don't light a fire that you cannot control. And under that, I'll mix it with don't advertise what is not for sale. Physically or emotionally. Because you advertise too much, you let a stranger into what is high class and very private, and you expect not to stir anything. Do not do that. Keep as private as possible. You know, when you give people too much, example, you have problems as a lady, and you start confiding in this gentleman. You are teaching him the ins of what is happening, and if they've come to play, they will play you because they play along.
You gave them the
You
pin
gave
code.
the pin code.
You gave
They
them
play
the pin
along.
codes.
Oh, this one loves this, and they will feed you with what you want to hear,
To get what they want.
to get what they want.
Sure.
And initially, it wasn't to stay, but you lay yourself so vulnerable. They say the right things all the time, and they leave you high and dry.
So let me put it this way. Men receive love through their eyes. Don't show them what will lead them on. Don't show them. 2, women receive love through their ears. Don't say to them what gives them false hopes. And let me tell you what. Gentlemen, some women, not all, create coincidences.
Sure.
They create coincidences and
Fancy seeing you here.
and man, they are really able at nursing your ego. And if you're not careful, you're in it. And I tell you, and ladies, men do their homework and they know how to treat you as a queen when they want to get under your skirt. They know how to do that. And I'll tell you one that makes me angry.
Go for it.
I'm going through a divorce.
Yeah? That one.
My goodness, and you believe them.
Yeah.
And you believe them. How come your shirt is clean all the time?
You smell good.
Your lunchbox is, you smell good. Blah, 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 blah. Everything. And how come I never get to visit where you stay? We always meet at the hotel or at a restaurant, but never. 9 months. I swear. And then you say, no. One lady, I'm told, was buying groceries for a funeral of the gentleman's family. Little did she realize he was getting groceries for his wedding.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that happening.
I'm sorry, gents. Don't be childish. Don't be foolish. Be smart about relationships. You know, baby, I have this wonderful deal. I'm an entrepreneur. Hey man, I want you to invest in.
Between
look,
jobs.
in 18 months, we'll be seeing 6 zeros. Don't.
Yeah.
If you're going to invest in that, please get a lawyer and invest as a separate party, not as a lover. Not as a lover. And again, please go and get an independent advice as to whether to invest there or not. Please do things with your head, even as your heart is warm.
Don't play yourself.
Yep.
So, Papa, you mentioned something very interesting earlier. You spoke about shopping for your type. So are we saying, so there's nothing wrong with when you're ready and your heart is ready as a single to put yourself out there to be seen? Because I think, especially as Christians, sometimes we super spiritualize things and we'll say, my person will find me. What's meant to be will be. So are we saying that when the
how
time
can
is
they
right?
find you hidden in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Go to workshops,
Yeah.
go to concerts, go to seminars, go to business.
Yeah.
Just, but please go to something that talks to you.
Yes.
Whether that
Yeah.
person is
there
there or not.
Yes.
I love
But
that.
somehow
I love
you're
that.
not going there just to fish.
Yes.
Because then the first one who smiles, be.
Can I tell you what I'm
Yeah.
taking out of this whole conversation? And it keeps on ringing, but I was just waiting for more examples. So and I've mentioned it before. It really is about self-mastery.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's about self-actualization, because you're not going to be at a Toyota if you're looking for a Mercedes-Benz anyway. You are going to be amongst Mercedes-Benzes
Yeah.
if you yourself are a Mercedes-Benz. The issue is that sometimes as well, flipping it around,
Yeah.
you see yourself as a Toyota, you are willing to be used
Thank
Sure.
you.
by a Toyota,
Thank you.
Yeah.
but you're a Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
And so you found yourself, amongst the wrong company,
Yeah.
but a self-actualized person
Yeah.
then knows that, no, this is what I want. This is
Yeah.
what I deserve. These are the spaces that I need to be
Yeah.
in. This is what I need to expose myself to.
Yeah.
And as a result, the thinking around looking for it then
Yeah.
becomes very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you and I always speak about what is for you will never leave you, right?
What is for you will find you.
Will
No.
find you.
Yeah,
Or will never pass
miss
you by.
Will
Will never miss you.
yes.
What is for you will never miss
Yes.
you. And so you were not looking
Yeah.
when we found each other.
Yeah.
I was looking for Jesus.
But
I was like,
but isn't that so
Jesus,
powerful?
where you at?
Because you were looking, but not for a husband.
No.
You were looking for yourself.
Yes.
You were looking for fulfillment.
Yes.
You were looking for,
Yeah.
Companionship.
Yeah. Well, companionship
Not-
was on the table, but
Yes.
not that she was looking for it.
Yeah. But you know, baby,
Sure.
what you're also saying is what I'm also getting from Mama Le Papa when you talk about self-mastery. I'm
Yeah.
also hearing self-love.
Oh,
because
yes.
when you're
Yes.
pouring into yourself,
For
and
sure.
Papa mentioned it, Mama mentioned it in terms of self-actualization.
Yes.
Because you are pouring into yourself.
Yeah.
When you also get to a point where you're spending time with yourself, it means that you love yourself.
For sure.
You know, then you are in a position to give love
For
to
sure.
someone else.
100%.
So that's
Yeah.
also what I'm getting from this
100%.
conversation.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
give from
An empty
empty-
vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
You know? And I'd like to go with don't lie about your past and your status. Because it takes a lie to maintain a lie.
What do you mean your
Like your
status?
yeah.
Anything, there are people who they look at you and, okay, this one has a degree. No, I'm busy with you, Nisa. Wara, 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 wara. And you are a total package. When
Yeah.
you meet anybody, yes, we share. You don't share too much for starters, but as time goes on and you reach that place where you are vulnerable with somebody, please tell the truth.
So we
Because that can be a
sorry.
deal breaker.
Sure.
When the other one finds out, oh, okay, they said this, and yet it's like this. Truth sets free. Always, truth sets free. When you meet a person, caution, yes, but with time, you know, you can see that, this is going whichever direction. Don't start lying to quicken their response or anything.
Sure.
Remain truthful because truth stands. You tell truth today, after 10 years, you still maintain the words.
And gentlemen,
Hey, the guys are in trouble today.
I love this. I love that
it's
the
good.
men are being spoken
It's
to.
a problem to force yourself to date up and end up putting yourself in debt and all kinds of things because you have to match this woman so that she can say yes to me, to you. You go and get a loan for a car that you can't afford. And you go and rent at a place that you can't afford. And really, by the time you get married, you're in such heavy debt that now this person, and if the lady didn't ask the right questions before marriage, because that's one of the things to find out. Munna, what's your financial situation? Are we going to, am I
Yeah.
going to service your debt and what have you?
Sure.
So be careful about trying to impress to the point of choking yourself
Yeah.
with material things.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, Mama and Papa, from this point alone is that be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Even to yourself.
Even
Even
to
to
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And be
Accept me
comfortable.
as
Yes.
myself.
As I am.
Yes.
And you're going to get no surprises along
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
I think it's also worth. You know, I don't mind the idea of these guys that go, no, I'm not ready to date because I'm still working on myself. Because the kind of woman that I want,
Yeah.
I also need to show up, right?
Okay.
That's not a bad thing. Yes. To say I'm gonna
You know-
work. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm gonna work on getting my paper, getting my life together, getting my because this is the kind of life that I want to live.
You know,
That's
let
interesting.
let me bring another worrying phenomenon. Papa just spoke about people dating up. As soon as we say to people, please date your kind, don't date down. People bring all the human rights efforts.
Don't discriminate.
No, you are discriminating just because I'm poor. No. Dating down has got nothing to do with money. It's got everything to do with values.
Sure.
So you find you are with a person, you don't share values. Because I'm a Christian, I would never date a guy that's not a Christian. Because we would live on explanations. I want to tithe. He would be saying, wow, you're busy giving that pastor your money. Because he's not being funny. He doesn't understand. That's dating down. And people often come, Mom, you don't know what this guy did to me. He cheated, okay? He cheated. But if you can see who he's cheating with, I'm pissed off. I feel degraded. So here's a person who's looking at the person that their partner cheated with, and readily they downgrade them. Now, my question to this person is, when you met this person, where was he? And it can be the other way around. When you met this lady, where did you get her from? Or where did you meet? You find people meet, and this happens a lot to ladies. No. Ke tla mo zama. I'll upgrade him. Because of the goggles that they use. Now it's finances. I'll make sure I buy him this. I'll buy their house. He'll come in, and this man is tagging along. When he is comfortable, you are the only person who reminds this man who he really is.
Sure.
And what's the default? He goes and cheats with the person who he should have been with initially.
And then there's one case where this man is cheating with his doctor wife's PA. Okay, he's cheating with the PA. And before long, he says, buy me out. He brought very little or nothing into the relationship. And all he says is, buy me out. It happens too often. So too many people get in between the sheets with their PAs or cleaner or what have you. Or even the person who's a helper here at home.
Yeah. That.
Sure.
Single and
satisfied.
Ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you started by saying we could talk for 3 hours. We could absolutely talk for 3 hours.
Forever,
We're going to drop you the details of where you can get this DVD, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we've opened up the conversation around singlehood, around single people.
Yeah.
Because I definitely feel like there was a void, especially with our
I
audience.
agree.
Thank you so much, folks, for just at least opening up the conversation, because, we're not, there's so much to cover.
We just scratched the
Yeah.
surface. With all that has been said, we are advocating for marriage. Our wish is for people to do this singleness very well. Let's avoid casualties as much as we possibly can. When people get married, we are very happy. But when we advocate for premarital counseling, it's because we want to avoid divorces. You'd rather not get married when we realize that you really are going into a pit. And it's when you go through premarital counseling, it's not that you are in trouble, but your viewpoint gets so wide, and it teaches you such a lot of things. So we are saying, do singleness right, be satisfied with it. When it's time to want to get married, prepare.
You don't drive without going through driving lessons. You don't go and become a doctor and operate on people without going through the discipline. What makes you think you're going to go through a lifetime of marriage without the necessary preparation?
And I like to advocate for when you are in a relationship, you are still single, you are in a relationship, please ask the right questions. Ask the relevant questions. I'll give you an example. I once had a couple, they went through premarital, so many weeks. On the last day, I asked a question. Where will you be living when you come back from honeymoon? This lady has a house in a posh estate. The man says, no, I found a 2-bedroom apartment. Should have seen the lady's face. It fell. And she looked at this man and said, but how? And the man said, did you expect me to come and stay in your house? That was the end of that relationship. On that day, she went and told the parents, I'm not going on. Why? As they are courting, they were not being relevant in what they were talking about. How come it was never visited, the fact of where will we be staying after marriage?
After honeymoon.
After
Honeymoon, rather.
Papa, any closing words?
Be smart about life. Be smart about relationships. But more than anything, invest in yourself. 2 things I ask you not to do. Don't be a fool and don't be arrogant.
Sure.
Just be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Sure. And baby, before we say this was another riveting installment, guys, on the Papa, is it the 25th or the 26th? You are launching your book, please.
21st of October.
21st, yes.
I am a man.
Yes. We
Simple.
can't wait.
Let me say it simply. Your birth certificate says your gender. Your beard says your age. You can make it children. It just says that you are a human being and you are normal. What is it that makes you
A man.
Buy the book. Let's talk.
Yes. And this, ladies and gents, was another riveting podcast.
Of Here's a Thought with the Mags. Please
Mags.
remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on your notifications to know every time we upload a new installment. Folks, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Batswadi. We
You are
love you.
so
We appreciate you. We love you. This
Thank
was
you for
incredible.
having us.
Apologies for taking so long, but we're back.
We apologize.
They're back.
actually.
They're
Yes,
back, baby.
Yes, we're back.
Yeah.
We'll do better. Guys, I need to go and sleep on a lot of everything. I've got so much going on in my
lot,
mind.
yeah.
I'm just, but it really blew my mind.
And
it
I think
really
even
blew my
baby
mind,
as a
yeah.
married couple, we learn
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
As people
For sure.
that are in a relationship, there's a lot that we took from this.
Yeah.
Be your authentic self even in marriage. Self-mastery even
Yes.
in marriage.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
ever stop.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't let yourself go.
And love
'cause now
yourself.
You're like,
Zithande, love
Zithande,
yourself.
guys.
Yeah.
Guys, we love you. One time.
One time. Too
Too
real.
real.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Peace and blessings, people.
Love you. Bye.